And the parts that weren't as damaged by Irma were hit by Maria. Are you getting what you feel you need from the federal government in terms of response and a plan to rebuild?
Well, thanks so much. And first, of course, our condolences to all the families and those affected by gun violence in America. You know, just today, if you recall last week, myself and Elijah Cummings wrote a letter to Trey Gowdy of the Oversight and Government Reform Committee, where I'm a member, asking him for a hearing as to the disaster response of FEMA and other federal agencies in Puerto Rico and the U.S. Virgin Islands. Today, we had a briefing with FEMA officials with about 8 members of the committee, and there were definitely some discrepancies in what FEMA is saying that they are doing, and what their plans are, and what has actually been executed. And additionally, some concerns about what they're capable of doing and what's actually occurring on the ground.
What do you mean by discrepancies? Where? Because the last time I spoke to you, we were actually in St. John, and your concern was when relief was handed out, whether it's between Florida or Texas or the Virgin Islands, you were committed to making sure the Virgin Islands got their fair share. Is your concern that they're not going to?
Well, my concern is that while we know that there is a massive amount of people on the ground from the federal government, DOD, resources there, they actually have not been dispersed to some of the more remote areas or areas where people need it the most. For example, we know that the Army Corps of Engineers has a Blue Roof program. We know that Irma struck St. Thomas and St. John on September 9th. The Blue Roof program is just beginning this week in earnest. That's an exorbitant period of time. And the briefing that we had was not enough time to find out, is that discrepancy actually at the Army Corps, or is that in fact with the local government not giving them the resources or telling them where to go to disperse that? Another example would be in terms of our hospitals. As you're aware, Stephanie, Irma knocked out the hospital on St. Thomas, and then Maria came and knocked out the hospital on St. Croix. We have evacuated all of our inpatients, dialysis patients, others, and we're operating right now. We're utilizing tents in which operations are occurring, triages is occurring before people are medevaced out of the island. That cannot continue. But I have information that while the USS Comfort is going to Puerto Rico, there is no military barge or medical structure that's coming to the U.S. Virgin Islands anytime. There is one on its way to Uganda, but not to the Virgin Islands. And I'm not clear right now if that is a function of the federal government or our local government. I know that our governor is meeting with the president in San Juan. Would have loved for him to have been in the Virgin Islands today, but I'm grateful that the vice president is going to be coming to the Virgin Islands on Friday, and I hope to be there with him.
Right. It is worth pointing out that the president has not gone to the Virgin Islands. This was supposed to be that visit. The governor's gone to Puerto Rico instead, as the congresswoman says. Congresswoman Stacey Plaskett, representing the U.S. Virgin Islands, thanks again for the constant contact that you stay in with us. We're going to keep on covering the situation in Puerto Rico and in the U.S. Virgin Islands.
Put this in perspective. The hurricanes we've seen, the earthquake in Mexico, and now what Las Vegas is facing. These are stunning times.
All right, that's it for us. Thank you for watching, Stephanie and me. Deadline White House with Nicole Wallace starts right now.
Hi, everyone. It's 4 o'clock in New York, 1 o'clock in Las Vegas, where we're waiting for an update on the investigation into the worst mass shooting in modern American history. We'll take you there when it happens. But first, President Trump is in Puerto Rico today, nearly 2 weeks after Hurricane Maria devastated the island, and 2 days after disparaging the mayor of San Juan for begging for better and faster relief for an island that she described as dying. President Trump today told Puerto Ricans to, quote, feel very proud that they hadn't suffered as many deaths as those impacted by what he described as a, quote, real catastrophe.